Foraging is easily known as Hypixel Skyblock's worst skill. It is the most boring and tedious skill to grind out of any of the others. Fishing used to be pretty rough and people would complain about it, but foraging is just the worst. All you can do is run around, hit a tree. The thing is, it wouldn't be that bad if it didn't take very long. Except, every time you break log, even though it does a bunch, it barely gives any experience. It's 8.7 per log. And to get it all the way up to skill level 50, it requires 55 million experience. Considering you get 600,000 experience in an hour, which is a pretty good number. A lot of people won't be making that much. Some people will be making more, but not very many. Considering you get 600,000 experience in 1 hour, it will take 91 hours to get foraging up to level 50. Who came up with this idea? So, to make this way easier, we're not going to be grinding trees in the park. Actually, instead we're going to be doing it on the island. Now, the secret weapon to actually getting trees on the island, a lot of people build something like this, where there's a small patch of dirt, and then they place 4 saplings and then grow it with enchanted bone meal and then chop it down, which I've heard is quite a bit more efficient than doing it in the park. Except, there is a method where you use a pool for foraging, and you can just sit there holding left click. You won't have to be looking at the screen, you're only going to be holding in the button left click. That is vital, because if you are not holding it in and you use F11 for this pool, it will be bannable. I'm not saying admins will catch you doing it, but it's still not worth it. Holding in left click for this pool actually makes about 300,000 experience in an hour, which is not the best, because doing it in the park was about 600,000 experience in an hour, except because it is so much easier, you can just do it and watch YouTube, watch a movie, you can do anything at the same time that you're foraging. So in order to build this farm, first off you're going to build a platform, 6 by 6 dirt, and then put 1 row all the way across, and then repeat it until you have a full square. 1 row of planks, then another platform of dirt. They're all 6 by 6. Now, depending on how many minion slots you have, this farm can adapt to it. Like you see, I didn't have enough to fill up this square, so this pool only went around this part of the farm. So, what you're going to want to do is you're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, you can't see it, 4 blocks between this row, and then once you get up to the 4th block, you're going to place a block, and then build the 2nd platform, but this middle block you want to destroy and put in a wood crystal. Now, this will show you the circle that it does, and it does cover every minion. So, now you're going to repeat placing the minions in groups of 4, just like that, in every platform that you can fill up. Now, if you can't fully fill a platform, say you only have 2, you're going to put them diagonal to each other. If you have 3, you just put the 3rd, either one, it doesn't matter. You do not need to put anything in them. The fuel we will get to later. That's the only thing you might have to do. It's not required. So in order to make the pool, you want to build fence. Now it's going to go under, it's going to be 1 block under the platform, and it's going to go, I believe, 15 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Notice it only goes up to the end of this. This one goes 2 out. Now, in order to build this, you're going to want to build a little loop just like this one. It's going to be 2 blocks high, 3 over, and then it's going to be 4 across there, then 3 here, and then it's going to start the long wall. And the wall is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 long. And that's starting 1 block away from the edge of the dirt platform. Now when you build this wall, you'll notice the water only runs to about here and then stops. So you place 1 sign on this block right after where the water stops, and then 1 right above it. And that will make, and then you place a water bucket here, and it will make sure the water continues to the edge of the row. And then a sign just to stop the water from flowing, and then you repeat this. It goes around, except you don't need a teleport pad on the site. It's just water that you drop into. Still using fence, and it will travel to a teleport pad. Now this is just to hold you in place. Now this teleport pad, you have to make sure this teleport pad gray, it has to go up to this one, which is not straight up, it's across. It's a diagonal line up to this one. Now, in order to make this work, you have to make sure that these teleport pads will face in the correct direction. Now, this one has to face east. If someone goes here, it's east. That will change depending on how you lay out the island. You're just going to have to do some testing, because if you lay it out, it might be west. It varies depending on how you set up this farm. So you want to change that until you are facing the trees when you teleport there. And then you repeat it by making another long row with water and then another drop into the next row. Now this one, you'll mine the trees, and it will go to this teleport pad, which is another diagonal line back up to the top up here. And you have to make sure this one is also facing toward the trees. So it takes 4 teleport pads in total, but only 2 of them actually do teleport you somewhere. This farm will make about 300,000 experience in an hour. But see, you don't need to worry about the storage. It will only block trees. But if you add a fuel, the best fuel you can possibly use is foul flesh, which increases the speed of minions by 90%. Now, most people would just use enchanted lava buckets, which is fine. You don't have to buy anything else. Except, foul flesh, you only buy it enough to fill up the minions while you will be there. It's only 5 hours, except that 90% will go into placing the trees, because most of the time, when you get all the way back around, they're not fully grown. So, in order to make them be more grown when you actually get there, placing a foul flesh is in each minion is definitely the way to go. And that will boost the output of this farm from about 300,000 to something closer to 500,000 an hour, if done with a max setup. The pet you're going to want to use is an epic or legendary ocelot pet, which increases the foraging minion work speed and the foraging wisdom on so you're going to be getting more experience, and the minions are going to be working much faster. Buying a level 100 is great. That will increase the amount of experience you will be getting. But if you cannot afford that, it is totally fine to buy a level 1. It will level up pretty quickly because it is a foraging pet. So, This farm is the only reason I actually got Foraging 50. Otherwise, I would still be at about 26. So, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.